You're watching 7 at your service, KPLC.
Next, some Jeff Davis Parish residents are urged to get out as heavy rains swell local waterways. And Ben Terry has the latest on our flooding threat this morning. And despite all of our rain, we're lucky so far compared to the Baton Rouge area. Plus, a woman and her dog are rescued from a sinking car in Baton Rouge. This morning, you'll see just how dramatic rescue unfolded. A special edition of 7 News Sunrise starts now. Good morning. I'm John Bridges. We are bringing you this special Sunday edition of 7 News Sunrise due to the severe weather and flooding we've been experiencing over the last 24 hours. Here are the big headlines from this flood. Jeff Davis is the hardest hit area in southwest Louisiana, with officials calling for evacuations in parts of Welsh and in Lake Arthur. We'll take you live to Lake Arthur in just a moment. Statewide, at least 3 deaths are blamed on the flooding, and more than 1,000 people are out of their homes and staying in shelters. And we could see more rain in our area. Meteorologist Ben Terry is standing by with more on that. Ben?
John, been tracking the rain overnight, and unfortunately the way things have been unfolding this morning, where we've seen more rain developing, it's been over these hardest hit portions of Acadiana and southeast Louisiana. I guess the good thing about it is that this rain is mostly light. We're not seeing a lot of heavy downpours, but what we're going to do now is take the radar on a little bit of a tour and kind of go in and take a look at some of these areas that are seeing more rain early this morning. And we'll start off here in southwest Louisiana, where we're seeing some showers redeveloping through areas in central Beauregard Parish back over into the western portions of Calcasieu Parish. Rain is beginning to redevelop here over the Starks area, moving into places like Highway 12 between Starks and DeQuincy, and then this will eventually be pushing back in to the rest of Calcasieu Parish as it moves its way off to the east. Into Beauregard, these showers have been redeveloping in and around the Singer area up towards Sugartown, moving east toward Sugartown and into Dry Creek. But it's off to the east that we're really concerned about these areas that have been hit with well over 20 inches of rain so far over the past 24 to 48 hours that are seeing more rain. And these are areas from near Lafayette back over to Baton Rouge, where the rain is pulling back on shore. The reason why is we've got a stalled front that's to our northwest. It really isn't going to be moving anywhere the next several days, and that is not allowing really the rains here as we go through the daytime hours to really move anywhere. In fact, these showers are redeveloping over the northern Gulf and stretching back over into portions of southeast Texas and in through south central Louisiana. So as a result, we've got more flash flood warnings out now for Vermilion, Lafayette, St. Martin, and Iberia parishes. The entire area is still under a flash flood watch through this evening, because we could see really anywhere across southwest Louisiana today those bands of rain redevelop. Right now outside at 76 degrees, I've got our rain chances all the way up to 100% for today. We'll talk more on the forecast for the rest of our weekend and new week ahead coming up for you in just a few minutes. John?
All right, Ben. 6:03 now, and we will update you now. As we mentioned, the worst flooding in our area is in Jeff Davis Parish, and this morning the mayor and fire chief in Welsh are urging residents living in low-lying areas along the Lacassine Bayou in Welsh to evacuate because of rising waters. Fire Chief John Hill says to monitor the water and get out of those areas immediately. And the town of Lake Arthur is urging residents to think about evacuating as the Mermentau River is expected to continue rising. KPLC's Candy Rodriguez is in Lake Arthur this morning with the latest. Candy?
John, Ben, good morning. Just to give you an idea of how high the water is in some parts of Lake Arthur, take a look at my foot. Now, this may seem like grass, but it is definitely not. There is a lot of standing water right here at the boat dock. And driving around town, it is evident that a lot of the area had an issue with high water. Many residents placing sandbags around their home. I spoke with the Jennings police officer earlier on our way here, who says many residents are staying in Jennings at the hotels there. More residents are expected to leave today, especially after an evacuation was recommended. It's not a mandatory evacuation at this moment. It's simply a precautionary measure. But just to give you an example of what you can expect, by Monday afternoon, the Mermentau River is expected to be at the level it was back in 2013 when it crested at 10.5 feet. But by Thursday, we can expect another 2 feet more than we experienced back then, with the a crest of over 13 feet. Now, of course, this is simply what it is currently forecasted. Our weather team will keep you updated with the latest. So right now, authorities are simply advising residents to get out while they have time. Again, this is not a mandatory evacuation. It is simply advice that you do so. At your service, live in Lake Arthur, Candy Rodriguez, KPLC 7 News.
Candy, thanks. Staying in Jeff Davis Parish, the heavy rains brought flooding to Jennings. Officials spent much of Saturday getting sandbags out to people and getting to those stranded in their cars. Last night, there was a curfew in the parish to try to get people to stay off the roads, again in Jeff Davis. Flooding continues, meanwhile, in the town of Kinder in Allen Parish. Residents in the 14th Street area between 2nd and 3rd Avenues were hit particularly hard. One resident awoke yesterday morning to find standing water in her laundry room, something she says hasn't happened to her in the 8 years she's lived in Kinder.
To wake up to water in your house, it's a scary thought. It really is. Walked outside and there's just water everywhere. The ditches are flooded. My backyard was flooded. My poor dog was stuck in her doghouse. She couldn't move. Like, I had to go rescue her to get her to dry land. It was pretty bad.
Now, as bad as the flooding is in some parts of southwest Louisiana, it is nothing compared to the scale of flooding in southeast Louisiana. Take a look at this drone video from Denham Springs near Baton Rouge. It gives you an idea of the scope of the flooding. There is floodwater virtually as far as you can see. The National Weather Service says some areas saw about 24 inches of rain just within a 24-hour time period. So what is it like on the ground in Denham Springs? Kieran Chawla found out.
It's apocalyptic, as she would say. I mean, I've just never seen nothing like this. It came up so fast.
For miles, all you see is rooftops or homes half underwater. This is along Cockerham in Denham Springs. The only way around Denham today? By boat.
10 foot, almost 10 foot over from my house. It's not good. Everything's over. My car's up to the roof. Everything, dude. Everything's flooded.
Anywhere between a few feet to 10 feet of water inside homes, and it came up very quickly.
It's rising. It's about 3 to 6 inches an hour. It's rising pretty fast. Emmett Church Road's totally under. My parents' houses, they had about probably 2.5, 3 feet in it.
He was up at 4, went to bed at 4, walked outside, wasn't even flooded.
It's waist deep right now.
I woke up at 6. As soon as I walked outside, I let the dog out, I had about a foot of water.
This is River Road and Railroad Avenue, a trailer submerged. And beneath all of this are train tracks somewhere. Families packed whatever they could, grabbed their dogs, and headed to higher ground. Just like this family, walking, rolling a suitcase, packing anything they could. Or here, horses with their phone numbers on them in case they get separated.
I'm 75 and I've never seen anything like this before. It's just horrible because when you get my age and things, around my house, it never flooded. You pay off your place and you drop your flood insurance, you have no flood insurance, and now it's all gone.
83, it barely got up in my yard. I live right off the river. 3:30 this morning, everything was underwater. I mean, it's 3 or 4 foot deep in my house.
We tried to get up this morning about 5 and knock on everybody's windows and help everybody we could and try to at least make them aware of it. But we lost our vehicles. Everybody lost their vehicles, and just praying there was no loss of life. We can replace everything we got, but can't replace each other. So
the National Guard has been rescuing as many as they can. State police troopers in full uniform going in for those stranded. People pulling their own bateaus or helping others to get people out from the worst of the worst. In this case, this little girl is only 5 days old. Her dad put her in a truck bed and trailered their boat to higher ground.
Got a boat over here, tried, and in a truck. Military tires on it, barely even make it.
This is Magnolia Beach Road. Over and over, you look around in any direction. All you see is some kind of boat going in to rescue or coming out with parents holding their children tight, or people with vests on with everything in just one bag.
Does anybody need medical attention? Get the babies out.
And this school bus picked up stranded people and took them to a shelter, Bethel Baptist Church in the town of Livingston.
Losing everything, but I'm glad I got out alive.
It's amazing. I've never seen nothing like it.
Close to 1,000 people are staying at Red Cross shelters across South Louisiana this morning because of flooding. There are about 200 people at this shelter in a recreation center in Hammond. Nearly 20 Red Cross shelters have opened in Louisiana for people escaping flooding. The shelters provide meals, safe places to sleep, and emotional support for people during this historic flood event.
It's upsetting. I don't know what to think. You know, I'm not used to being in this situation. All other storms and bad weather that we've been in, I've always been either by my family or anything, but I don't have anyone out here. So it's hard not knowing anybody.
The American Red Cross is looking for more volunteers to help out at shelters across the state. Many of you have sent us pictures from the flooding in your area. You can send us yours by emailing them to news@kplctv.com. And you can see many of the pictures on our website at kplctv.com. Well, the Fenton police officer hit by a car during a traffic stop last Sunday, a week ago today, has died. Sergeant Vernon Oquin with the Fenton Police Department confirms the death of Officer Shannon Brown yesterday. Officer Brown was writing a citation when a driver struck his unit from the rear, forcing it to run into him. Next up, what can you expect on the roads today? We're talking live with Sergeant James Anderson from Troop B, Louisiana State Police. And hundreds of Southeast Louisiana motorists get trapped by floodwaters. The story as this special edition of 7 News Sunrise continues. It's 6:11.
Yeah, I like this right here. It's the Ford Freedom Sales Event with 0 for 72 plus 1,000 bonus cash on 2016 Ford Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Plus, tag vehicles now get 1,000 smart bonus. That means freedom from interest and freedom to choose with Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now get 0 for 72 plus 1,000 bonus cash on Focus, Fusion, and Escape. Plus, specially tagged vehicles get 1,000 smart bonus. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
In the event of a heart attack, it is important to receive immediate treatment from an experienced team. Christus St. Patrick Regional Heart Center is the only accredited chest pain center in Southwest Louisiana. With our emergency room's cardiac CT technology, we can quickly determine whether or not you are actually having a heart attack, eliminating unnecessary tests and helping you get home as soon as possible. Fast and accurate. That's Christus St. Patrick Regional Heart Center. When you need us, we're here.
Jimmy, you're making a mess.
Well, Larry, I want to make sure our customers get the lowest prices. So I'm checking all the sales online and in the paper. But the prices keep changing and it's hard to keep up.
We have a special computer in the store that checks the prices of our competitors every day to make sure we have the best deals on everything in the store. It even sends me an alert.
Well, that's easy.
That's what we do. So come to CNC Home Appliance for the best selection and the lowest prices. Guaranteed. Let's clean this stuff up.
All right.
Jury awards plaintiff
$17 million. One of the largest verdicts in the country that year, against some of the biggest companies in the world. That verdict will always have a place in my heart because of the people involved, the jury, my client. Back at McCall, we represent injured victims with experience, know-how, but most of all with our passion and our heart. If you've been injured, remember, choose your lawyer carefully.
6:13, welcome back to a special edition of 7 News Sunrise on this Sunday morning. Due to all the flooding, there are a lot of questions about roads, and with all of the rain that's fallen here in the last 24, 48 hours, Sergeant James Anderson with Troop B State Police is nice enough to join us on this Sunday morning. James, thanks for coming in. What's the status of roadways here in the lake area?
John, we've been pretty fortunate compared to other parts of South Louisiana. Right now we do have some road closures. LA 101 south of Lacassine, LA 99 south of Welsh. We also have LA 102 at Andrus Road, as well as LA 26 at Dugas Road are closed. I know DOTD had put out that LA 102 is open. That's not the case. I just spoke to one of our troopers who was just there and has eyes on it. Its underwater barricades are still in place. We also have high water, the I-10 exit ramps, Milepost 7, which is going to be in Vinton, still passable, but water is high there. Also, LA 99 north of Welsh, the water is high there as well.
Okay, all right. And I guess it's safe to say, too, if any area that you're used to seeing flooding during heavy rains, to watch out for those when the rain is falling, right?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing we want to drive home with people who are actually driving, the catchphrase, turn around, don't drown, there's a lot to that. We don't want a situation where someone gets goes off the road into a ditch or just, has a difficult time telling exactly where their vehicle is on the roadway, and it winds up being a bad situation.
All right. If anyone's traveling east on Interstate 10 as they go through Baton Rouge or New Orleans, maybe someone has to do that today, what is your advice to them?
Well, there's a way to get information on current road closures. Online, www.511la.org. DOTD provides updated travel information. Also, from your cell phone in the state of Louisiana, you can dial 511 to obtain the latest road conditions.
All right, very good. And we'll try to put links, if they're not already on there, on KPLCTV.com. But let's repeat those websites again for road information.
Absolutely. www.511la.org online, and also 511 from your cell phone.
All right, and those change by the hour, so I guess it's good to stay in touch there and check it just before you leave, just to make sure.
Absolutely.
What's the traffic been like here through the Jeff Davis Parish area? That's part of Troop B's coverage area.
Well, yesterday we had to close the road, I-10 eastbound at US 165. Some people may be wondering why that was done. We had water on the roadway and rain at milepost 87. Waterhead was encroaching onto the interstate. The right lane of travel was closed in both directions, east and westbound. Well, as the water was coming up, as a precaution, the roadway was closed. What we didn't want is a situation like our friends to the east are experiencing on I-12 right now, where vehicles were trapped. The exits along that route, those local communities were experiencing flooding, so it really wasn't a case of allowing those vehicles to go east and then exit onto those into those towns if the water was indeed across the roadway in its entirety at rain. So that's why that was done. The water didn't go up any higher, and we reopened the interstate as soon as we were able to.
We've certainly seen what the flood water does to the interstate in the Sabine River area, so that was good precaution. All right, Sergeant James Anderson, Troop D State Police, always good to see you. Thanks for coming in this Sunday morning.
Thank you, John.
Okay. All right, lots of motorists in southeast Louisiana found out the hard way what happens when you drive into floodwaters like Sergeant Anderson was talking about. Hundreds of people needed help in areas around Independence in Tangipahoa Parish. Ryan Nakang has that story.
Along a small stretch of Highway 1063 in Independence, floodwaters left a graveyard of cars in its wake.
We've been driving up and down these back roads, seeing if anybody was still left on their porch. And right up here, they got this car. It was about in the middle of the road, and just from this current being so heavy, it slowly edged it all the way, and now water's all the way up in the dashboard right now.
Justin Gazzardo and his friends tracked through high waters and strong currents Saturday, helping those stranded by the floodwaters created by the swollen Natalbany River.
A lot of water down that road. We helped a guy with a boat fighting that current about a mile down the road trying to get up. Helped him out. Earlier we helped some about 4 ladies and a 3-month-old. They had a lot of water coming into the house and helped them with their bags, get to the car. So any way I can, I'm helping, man.
At least 200 that I saw come out.
Longtime Independence resident Emil Buffalo watched the National Guard rescue hundreds as water pushed higher and higher Friday night into early Saturday morning.
So I was trying to get around it earlier this morning to get over there to Mike's.
He says the water rushed through in a fraction of time.
My cousin from across the street, Billy, came beating on my door, telling me I got to get my car out of here. The water's coming up. I said, man, you crazy. I just looked. I walked in my carport, and he was standing in water ankle deep. That's how quick it came up. Matter of 20 minutes.
Within an hour, it went from nothing to 3 foot of water in my neighbor's house.
The water fell slowly Saturday, but the powerful flood already tore through homes, discarding belongings, straining animals throughout the area.
The water from the Natalbany River started coming across the interstate, and it came up so fast that we really didn't have time to get anything done. I got my sister-in-law out and brought her to my house, tried to help the neighbors block up the furniture, put sandbags, to no avail.
A lot of roads in this area are still closed off, and many of the roads that you try to get down, you simply just can't get through them unless you have one of those high water vehicles or some kind of boat. So the rescue effort is still ongoing here as well. In Independence, Ryan Nakan, back to you.
All right, very fortunate across most of southwest Louisiana, especially in the Lake Charles area, that we have not seen that flooding. Of course, the roads are wet this morning. A live look at our downtown Skycam where we're at 76 degrees. But by those clouds, you can tell we're not done with the rain yet. We'll have more on that forecast for you after the break.
Have a look around.
Thank you.
Got me looking so crazy right now, your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Looking so crazy in love, got me looking so crazy in love. So you like it?
I do. Now is the moment to get the Honda Accord you love. Named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list a record 30 times at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
If you've been injured in an accident, you need an experienced law firm fighting on your side. Go to hdinjurylaw.com. At hdinjurylaw.com, you'll find information you need to know provided by one of Louisiana's most experienced and trusted law firms. Our attorneys have represented thousands of injured people. Look at our experience and results obtained for our clients. Choose the right law firm. After an accident, make the call to Hafiz Javal or look for us on the web at hdinjurylaw.com.
This August at LaBerge, it's blackjack made easy. Will you stay or press your bet all the way to $250,000?
From the 7 Storm Team, your first alert weather with meteorologist Ben Terry.
6:22 on this Sunday morning. We'll start you off by taking a look at the current conditions on radar, where we have some light rain across the area. Good news here is that nothing is heavy enough to really cause any concern at this point for flooding, even though we are seeing some showers redeveloping from Starks up through to Quincy, and that extends up through most of Beauregard Parish this hour. Some lighter rain now pulling back into places like down toward Kinder and Oberlin, and that is pulling up 165. Very light precipitation, though. We're not talking any type of heavy rain. And the good news here is I was a little bit more concerned earlier this morning as these storms began to flare up from Abbeville up toward Lafayette, pushing through St. Martin Parish, where they've been hit so hard by rain. But it looks like the trends now are showing this weakening as well. So some light rain falling. Obviously, they don't need any more rain here, but at least what they're seeing is not heavy at this point. 24-hour rainfall totals. There have been some high amounts here across portions of Calcasieu Parish. The bullseye here over near the Vinton area, we picked up over 6 inches of rain here. Also on the north side of Lake Charles up toward Moss Bluff, there have been some reports coming in of radar estimates of over 6 inches of rain. And then off to our east, obviously, that's where we've had the big problems from Welsh to Jennings down to Lake Arthur. Over 12.5 inches of rain here over the past 24 hours. And that extends over into Acadia Parish from near Crowley as well. And then, of course, obviously toward the east of Lafayette. Again, this is just 24-hour rainfall totals. That doesn't combine with what they've seen over the past 36 to 48 hours here that add to that. So 20, 25-inch rainfall amounts here. And that's why we've had so many problems. The question is, when will this move out? Well, the answer, it may not move out totally for the next few days. The reason why, we've got a stalled front here to our west, and that's keeping all of that tropical moisture just funneled in here over southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. No, I don't think we're going to be in a significant flood threat next week, but we've got more rain rain likely for Monday, Tuesday, and likely into Wednesday. Here's a look at the radar now, which shows those lighter showers moving back toward the north. And again, we'll have to keep an eye on this activity to the east. There's a possibility we could see some regeneration of rains here later this morning across southwest Louisiana. Current flash flood warnings out in effect now for Lafayette, Vermilion, Iberia, and St. Martin parishes. The flash flood watch is for all of southwest Louisiana, and it's expected to continue through this evening, and we'll have to see if that gets extended into tomorrow. Here's our futurecast, which shows possibly some rains developing back over the area later today. I will say, though, it is showing generally lighter amounts, but perhaps some bursts of, at times, some heavier downpours through the area this afternoon. At this point, I'm going to go 1 to 3 inches possible additional rain today. That is not too concerning as far as flooding. Of course, if we get those heavy enough downpours, I think street flooding may be our biggest problems here in the Lake Charles area. 76 right now outside, cloudy and some rain reported at the airport. Here's the way it looks. Your chances of rain at noon, 90%. We'll keep them high on through the afternoon for scattered showers and a few heavier downpours. Potential rainfall, though, between now and early next week. Some of the computer models are still showing 1, maybe as much as 3 inches of rain possible, and that's generally what we're thinking here. So still a possibility we could see some flooding really over the next 24 hours. We'll be on guard for that as we still got that low pressure moving through. As we go into next week, though, look what happens as we go into Monday. Still scattered showers and storms redeveloping through the day tomorrow as we'll have that front to the north, all that tropical moisture moving in, and we'll likely have a few downpours as well, perhaps returning by Monday morning. With this pattern not changing, I'm going to keep the rain chances high through the middle of the week. That front just remains stalled to our northwest, so we'll see scattered activity returning for Tuesday and likely into Wednesday as well. More scattered coverage. There will be some breaks in between that rainfall. It's not going to be like we had the past couple of days where it's just been persistently raining for 24, 48 hours straight. 82 for the high today. More rain today. Additional amounts, 1 to 3 inches possible for tonight. We should see the rain winding down in the evening. Lows down in the 70s. Could see a return, though, of more scattered storms tomorrow. I've got the rain chance at 70% both Monday, Tuesday, and then only slightly lower as we go into Wednesday as the chances back down to 60%, highs in the upper 80s and lows in the upper 70s. So still with that flash flood watch, the threat remains today on high guard for more flooding, especially if more rain sets up to our east over in those hard-hit areas in Jeff Davis Parish.
Okay, I guess we can leave our weather app on silent in church this morning. Maybe stay
hopefully it won't be too bad this morning. I think we'll have to just see how it plays out later today.
Let's hope so. All right, Ben, thanks. 6:27, a woman and her dog trapped in a sinking car in Baton Rouge. See the dramatic rescue next.
They say when you're young, you're grabbing everything you can, and as you get older, you try to give it away. And so I think it's great to be able to give back, and how can I make a difference? This world's been great to me, and if in any way I can help other people to achieve peace and harmony and accomplish some of their dreams, then I'm excited to do that. I'm Sam Aber. Perhaps we should talk.
Thinking about breast surgery? Discover a brand new you this summer with help from the offices of Dr. Kenneth Odenay. Dr. Odenay is board certified and experienced in a variety of cosmetic surgical procedures that can help enhance your appearance, improve your health, and increase your self-esteem. Summer means showing off a little more of you. Visit KenOdenay.com. Then call 234-8648 today to schedule your consultation.
Bolton Ford's 40th anniversary celebration continues with new store-wide savings.
You get the Bolton Ford low price plus 0% for 72 months on all new Fords.
Shop the #1 selling Ford dealer in Louisiana, trusted for over 40 years. And now, with 0% for 72 months on all new Fords.
The 40th anniversary sale continues with 0% for 72 months on all new Fords. All Fords are created equal. At Bolton Ford, our people make the difference.
People want a smarter bank.
With technology, it makes finances more convenient.
They want a bank with history.
Stability, experience, along with the customer service they deserve.
A modern bank with hometown banking principles.
FNBD is that bank. Proven across DeRidder to Moss Bluff.
With leading-edge banking in Lake Charles.
FNBD is a bank for a new generation.
With generations of know-how to get things done.
Welcome back to this special edition of 7 News Sunrise on this Sunday morning, 6:29 now, and by now you've probably seen the incredible life-saving rescue in Baton Rouge that happened yesterday. Robbie Rinnell of our Raycom sister station in Baton Rouge was there with his news camera documenting rescues by boat when the 2 men and a boy he was with became heroes in a matter of seconds. Take a walk.
Do you have something?
Yeah.
Get out! Give me a knife. Give me a knife. Give me a knife. We're coming.
Watch your eyes.
Knife.
Hey, I'm flipping the top. Watch your eyes.
Go. Breaking the window.
Top one down.
Go.
Oh my God, I'm drowning.
We're coming. We're coming. I'm going to break this window. We're breaking the window. Do you have a knife? Do you have a knife? You do that. Tell me if you have a knife. I'll find out.
Get my dog.
Hey, dog.
Get my dog. Get my dog now. I'll go down.
Hold on.
Hang on.
We can't get the dog. Here.
Oh.
I can't get the dog. Maybe she's gone.
No, she better not be. I better have her.
I got you, dog. Oh!
Oh, you're coming.
Swim to the boat. Swim to the boat. Swim to the boat. Oh, me at the boat. I'm sorry.
Amazing. It happens that fast. That was one of the hundreds of rescues in southeast Louisiana during the last couple of days. Next up, Ben tells us how much more rain we can expect on this Sunday morning at 6:31. You're watching a special edition of 7 News Sunrise.
Around here, there's only one place fully equipping trucks with lifts, rims, chrome kits, and leather seats. Jeeps custom ready for off-road, and cars too sweet to resist. Road warriors go to Don's Wholesale to purchase custom vehicles fully dressed and ready to roll. Go to Don's Wholesale and drive off in a vehicle already assembled with everything you love. Don's Wholesale on the corner of Enterprise and Breon Lake Road.
There you go. That's awesome.
Okay, let's eat. Wash up for dinner.
At kitchen tables across America, dreams are being fed. Kroger is pleased to be a part of what keeps those dreamers going.
Fire up the grill this week and treat your family to juicy beef ribeye steak. They're on sale now for just $4.99 a pound. Fresh food, low prices at Kroger.
I'm amazed at the natural beauty here. I don't want to miss a single day.
And thanks to Lake Area Medical Center, I don't have to.
Not long ago, I felt a pain in my chest and my arms. I got to the ER just in time. It was a heart attack. They cleared my artery and they saved my life. If you have even the slightest thought that you might be having a heart attack, get help fast. Each sunset is even more precious now.
Excuse me, I'm looking to build a back patio.
Well, we just got shipment of ceramic patio pots. I think there's a sale on outdoor lighting and stuff.
Look, I don't even know where to start.
Oh, well, you should start at Home Building Materials.
At Home Building Materials, we specialize in the building process.
With our huge selection of framing and specialized lumber, along with our knowledgeable staff, you're guaranteed to be set on the right path to your finished project. Home Building Materials. Start at step 1.
Good morning. If you're just now joining us, you're watching a special edition of 7 News Sunrise as we keep you informed on this Sunday morning of the flooding threat. Coming up this half hour, we'll be talking with Lake Charles Mayor Randy Roach and see rescues of trapped motorists on Interstate 12 near Baton Rouge. First, though, let's check in with Ben for the latest on the weather. Ben?
And we're going to talk about river stages now because obviously those are going to be rising even more over the days ahead. The good news is we haven't seen at this point reporting any significant rises to flood stage along the Calcasieu, although we've seen some rises there, especially near Kinder, and these will be going into flood stage here later this week, and of course no issues on the Sabine. Let's talk about the Calcasieu River first, because at Oberlin, flood stage is at 13 feet. Currently it's at 5.5 feet. It's expected to rise to 15 feet by Thursday, which that would put the river there at 2 feet above flood stage. This is going to be nowhere close to what we dealt with, though, back in March, when the river here at Oberlin did go all the way up to 22.86 feet. That was the crest back in March of 2016. So just to put it into perspective, in fact, this is only going to go into moderate flood stage here. Down the line at Kinder, right now the current stage is 11.43 feet. It's expected to rise to above flood stage here, 16 feet, and crest at 20.5 feet by Thursday. This will get to moderate flood stage and will be about just under a foot, or just over a foot below where it crested back in March of 2016 in Kinder. So if you were familiar with what impacts were felt there in the Kinder area, it's expected to crest there. 21.78 was where we crested at in March. Saltwater barrier, not going to see any issues here. It will fluctuate at or just above flood stage by around a half a foot between high and low tides over the next several days. The Mermentau Basin, big issues here. This is what's going to be affecting Lake Arthur, the town of Mermentau, because of all this rise here along Bayou Duquesne and Bayou Nepakay, as it's forecast to rise to 24 feet by this afternoon. Flood stage here at Bayou Duquesne is 16 feet. Bayou Nepakay right now it's at 19.03, flood stage 22. It's expected to rise to 28 feet by Tuesday. That's going to put the level at Mermentau, at 13.2 feet by Thursday. Just to put things into perspective, the river crested at Mermentau back in 2013 at 10.5 feet. We're going to see that by Monday afternoon. That's going to be 2013 levels, and then it's going to rise to additional maybe 2 feet by Thursday. That's why we're expecting to see big-time flooding in the towns of Lake Arthur and, of course, in Mermentau. We'll have more on your forecast, John, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Ben, thanks. 6:36 now, and the town of Lake Arthur is urging its residents to think about evacuating as the Mermentau River is expected to continue rising. That's where KPLC's Candy Rodriguez is this morning with the latest. Candy?
John, good morning. The rain has stopped temporarily, but take a look around me. Just water, no signs of a concrete street. I just spoke with the homeowner who lives in this house right behind us, who says thankfully no water has made it inside his home just yet, but he's not taking any chances. He's gathering his belongings and getting out. Now, we've seen plenty of residents doing the same thing, as right now the curfew has been lifted. There is a curfew in Lake Arthur from 6 to 6, but it's officially lifted now, so many residents are hitting the road and getting out. Now, just a reminder, this is not the worst of it. To give you an example, back in 2013, we crested at 10.5 feet, but by Monday afternoon, the Mermentau River is expected to reach that level, and then by Thursday, we can expect another 2 feet more than we experienced back then, with a crest of over 13 feet. Now, of course, this is simply what's been forecasted, and our weather team will keep you updated. The evacuation at this time is not mandatory, but they're advising residents to get out now while they can. As you see right behind me, there's a truck trying to get through. Of course, if you have a smaller car, that could become an issue. Good morning, sir. Trying to get their belongings and trying to get out, because like I said, this is not the worst of it. This is not the worst of it, and it's going to continue. So get out now while you can. The evacuation is not mandatory as of yet. It's just advised that you get out while you have time. At your service, live in Lake Arthur, Candy Rodriguez, KPLC 7 News.
All right, Candy, thanks. Lake Charles could see a lot more rain today. Next up, we talk to Mayor Randy Roach. It's 6:38. This is 7 News Sunrise on KPLC.
If you've been considering physical therapy for your recovery options, XL Therapy in Moss Bluff is a therapy team you can trust. At XL Therapy, our therapists understand how to maximize your treatment options.
XL Therapy is the team that I trust on the road to recovery.
Get the experience of therapist Shannon Johnson and his team at XL Therapy in Moss Bluff. XL Therapy Group for physical and occupational therapy that's right for you.
The summer clearance event is in full swing at Mark, where we sell Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Now's the time to get a real discount on a real vehicle, like a $12,000 discount on a 16 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn, our most popular model. Or buy a 16 Jeep Cherokee Latitude with automatic air, satellite radio, keyless entry, power windows, and locks for only $19,995. Over half our business is repeat and referral. Come see why at Mark in Lake Charles.
Did you know that 40% of your home's energy loss is due to air leakage? Your money literally escapes into thin air. If you're building, remodeling, or just looking to save, you need spray foam insulation from Martin Insulation. Spray foam insulation stops air leakage, reduces noise, improves air quality, and saves you money. Call Graham Martin to upgrade your insulation today. Martin Insulation. Insulate and save some green.
You got him, Dale?
Yes, Skeeter. I've been to Nichols and to Quincy.
You didn't have no problem finding them, did you? At the intersection of Highway 27 and Highway 12.
Ladies, if you're looking for a fun day of shopping, you've got to come to Nichols. We have tons of home decor and decorative accessories, including candles, frames, and much more. We get shipments every week, so our variety of merchandise is ever-changing. And for the men, you'll find great hunting and fishing gear at Nichols and DeQuincy.
I'm on my way.
6:40 now, and officials across the area are keeping a close eye on rain totals, and that includes Lake Charles. Mayor Randy Roach is in with us this morning to talk about that. Mayor, so far, looks like not a problem this morning.
Well, so far, John, things seem to be relatively under control. We have not had a lot of rain tonight, over the night, and our Public Works guys are out there monitoring the situation. Police department, and of course our fire department is always on standby. But so far, it has been relatively quiet.
What, as mayor of Lake Charles, what are you looking for? What do you keep an eye on, and what happens if a situation becomes extreme?
Well, John, you know, we monitor all of your weather reports, just like you do the forecast. We keep up with Ben and what he's doing. But also we have our Public Works personnel who manage our wastewater and treatment plants, because that's probably one good indication of the volume of water that we're getting, is what comes through our wastewater system. And people say, well, why would this water get into the wastewater? Because it's not really supposed to get in there. Yeah. But when we have these heavy rainfalls, the system gets charged because of breaks in lines and cracks and things that create filtration into the system. So it's a pretty good indication as to what the volume is, and we monitor that very closely. And our pumps pump and get that water flowing. So that's one good indication. Of course, our police department is always on the streets, and they report what's happening in the different areas. We've had our NICS alerts. I look at those, periodically. All of our personnel look at those as well. We have our Public Works crews also on the streets looking for drainage issues and problems. They look for clogged drains, and they look for situations, because you can have a street looks clean this afternoon, and then tonight, because of heavy rainfall and debris that just floats in the water, can clog a drain just in a matter of moments, and they create flooding problems. So we know some of the areas where we have had problems in the past, and so we monitor those areas and try to keep up with that.
And I guess this is where residents can come in, maybe check their yards, check the ditches in their area, if it's safe to do so, to clean out those drainage areas to kind of help the city along. Right?
Well, one of the advantages that we have in a situation that's evolving like you have here is that we do have an opportunity to get prepared for a heavy rainfall situation. Unfortunately, our neighbors to the east didn't have quite as much advance, warning. I guess they knew it was coming, but they didn't know how much was coming. And so now that we've seen what can happen, really in a relatively quick, short period of time, I think it would be in the best interest of everyone to take a look at what's around them and look at the areas they know. We all know the flooding areas are flooding problems that our neighborhoods are prone to have, and just be on the lookout and get ready to get ready.
Okay, and let's hope that the rainfall stays away from us here this morning then. Lake Charles Mayor Randy Roach, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Next up, meteorologist Ben Terry has the latest on the flooding threat and a live look at Doppler radar. It's 6:44. You're watching a special edition of 7 News Sunrise.
Only at Billy Navarre Chevrolet will you find in the Lake Charles area J.D. Power's #1 domestic cars, trucks, and SUVs for quality, and the brand with more awards than anyone over the last 2 years. At Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles and Sulphur.
Here we go.
Wild-caught Gulf shrimp from Big Easy Foods are available across the South. Fry them, boil them, put them in your pasta, salads, and gumbos. They're at your local grocer or order online and we'll ship them to you. Big Easy Foods, authentic Louisiana cuisine.
If you're looking for some great tasting sausage and boudin, then stop by our Market Basket Smokehouse. From spicy to rich in flavor, we have the variety your taste buds are craving. Our smokehouse sausage and boudin is award-winning and made fresh in our stores every day with the highest standards of quality. Stop by Market Basket Smokehouse today and pick some up for your next party or family mealtime. Market Basket. Savor the flavor of our award-winning smokehouse.
It's the sales tax holiday sale at Ashley Home Store. Save up to 25% and get 24 months, no interest. Buy more, save more at Ashley Home Store. Your choice of Ashley Sleep Anniversary Queen Sets, just $5.99. Arahan Linen Sofa, just $8.69 before discount. Soranella Queen Upholstered Bed, just $6.79 before discount. Hurry in and save up to 25% off, plus 24 months, no interest. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Only at Billy Navarre Chevrolet will you find in the Lake Charles area J.D. Power's #1 domestic cars, trucks, and SUVs for quality, and the brand with more awards than anyone over the last 2 years. At Billy Navarre Chevrolet in Lake Charles and Sulphur.
From the 7 Storm Team, your first alert weather with meteorologist Ben Terry.
A live look now at our South Lake Charles Skycam. This is a look at I-210, still overcast at 73 now is our temperature outside. And, of course, we're still looking at rain on 7 Storm Vision HD. Thankfully, though, the rain that we're seeing this morning is on the light side. We do have some showers really from Benton up towards Starks that extends to DeQuincy all the way through Beauregard Parish. Some of that expanding out now toward the Dry Creek area. Also some lighter rain now. Thankfully, not much going on into Allen Parish. You were hit hard yesterday there, especially in the Kinder area. You're seeing that activity very light in nature, as well as what has redeveloped here over Acadiana. This was very concerning earlier when I saw this rain returning. I thought we were going to have another repeat of yesterday morning, but it has weakened over about the past hour, and the rain is very light at this point. So good signs there. Bad signs are that, well, we may not be done with the rain. In fact, we've got likely more on the way today and possibly even into Monday. We'll get to that in just a bit. But taking a look at 24-hour rainfall amounts here, over 6 inches in parts of Calcasieu Parish. Although we haven't had any reports of any flooding with any of this rain, there have been some pretty hefty totals there in isolated spots. Where we have had issues with flooding, obviously into Jeff Davis Parish here, where areas near Lake Arthur have received over a foot of rain. That extends up to near Welsh and the Jennings area, and then back over toward Lafayette, eastward here, where you see these whites and grays. That's where the color table maxes out at nearly 20 inches of rain over the past 24 hours. So a lot of rain going on there. Lighter showers. The front stall to our west will be the reason why our pesky weather pattern hangs around for several days, because this front being parked here, and this is where it will stay, is trapping all of this moisture here across southeast Texas now and through the state of Louisiana, riding up into western Mississippi. And that's just going to keep the weather unsettled for the next several days. I don't think we're going to have the issue with flooding like we had the past few days tomorrow or even really today, but we're going to keep rain around the area. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will be with us through the middle of the week. Currently, we have the flash flood warnings out for lower Acadiana. The flash flood watches continue through this evening and perhaps could be extended. We'll see how they play that out mainly because of the expected rains that we're going to see next week. But look at the forecast today. Mainly some lighter showers around. There could be some bursts, especially later today, of some heavier rain. Not enough, though, that I think we're going to see any significant flood threat for southwest Louisiana. We'll keep a high alert, though, just because of areas in the ditches and bayous are full now, and it really wouldn't take a whole lot to cause some issues. But we'll hope for the best as far as that flooding threat's concerned. But high rain chances continue through the afternoon into the early evening for those scattered showers and, of course, potential rainfall here. This goes through Monday. I'm thinking we could see still as much as additionally today and to tonight, perhaps 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. But we'll add to that to next week. In fact, here's the way Futurecast plays out the rain chances as we go into Monday. Scattered activity around today. And then as we go into tomorrow, perhaps another burst of scattered showers and thunderstorms moving back in. Of course, like we already talked about, that unsettled pattern with the front stalled to our northwest is going to keep rain around through much of next week on and off. So with that in mind, we'll go with a high rain chance tomorrow and into Thursday. Again, the key here is these will be more scattered storms as opposed to organized hours and hours of heavy rain. That's not what we'll be talking about here, but it's just going to be not the best of weeks ahead, as we'll have, of course, obviously high rain chances for today. And then the rain chances tomorrow and into Tuesday at 70%, and it continues really on into the middle of the week and keeping our temperatures cooler and lows at night into the upper 70s. So bottom line, just in summary today, I'm going to go with maybe an additional 1 to 3 inches of rain. What we have to watch out for, John, is if we see those bands of rain set up over Jeff Davis Parish, because, of course, obviously, as you saw there with Candy, there are already still plenty of flooded locations from yesterday. Yeah. And if we just happen to see one of those bands of heavier rain set up, we could have issues. That's why we have that flash flood watch out for the day today.
Right. Pay attention to the weather this morning. You all will be monitoring the situation all day here.
Right, and providing updates if needed.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Ben. Next up, the floodwaters rose so fast in Livingston Parish, hundreds were trapped on I-12. You'll see this morning's rescues as 7 News Sunrise continues. It's 6:50.
It's Nissan's Bottom Line Summer Event. Take on the unexpected with a car that could stop for you. Get to Nissan for big model year-end offers on our award-winning lineup like Altima, Rogue, and Sentra. All 2016 IIHS top safety picks. Hurry, these offers end soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $3,500 on the 2016 Altima.
I'm here to talk about my incredible Popeyes beer can ripping chicken. Questions? Yes.
What kind of beer do you use?
It's not made with beer, sir. It's made with beer can chicken seasoning.
You don't use beer?
No, honey. It's my amazing ripping chicken marinated in rosemary, cayenne, and lemon. That's what makes beer can chicken so good. Rip it and dip it. Just $3.99 with fries and a biscuit. Any other questions? What?
Not even a teensy bit of beer? No beer in the chicken.
No beer.
One of the most common statements I hear when clients come to my office is that they never thought they'd be meeting with a bankruptcy attorney. I understand that. Life presents us with unexpected challenges, loss of job, illness, divorce. We at Simon Fitzgerald have been helping families throughout Louisiana for over 50 years to restructure their finances. If your creditors will not work with you, if you want to know what your options are, you can schedule an appointment by visiting our website or calling our office. We want to work with you.
At AmeriSafe, we believe it's a privilege to be able to work and do business in Southwest Louisiana. So we encourage our employees to give back in any way that interests them, whether it's through the arts, community service, or helping abandoned animals. When you've been in business as long as we have, you get to know the needs of your community. And by getting involved and giving of ourselves, we not only make our company more responsive, but in many ways, we make our part of the world a better place to live.
6:53 now. Rescues finally began early this morning for hundreds of people stranded along Interstate 12 in Louisiana, trapped by floodwaters. Right now, some are still on the interstate, awaiting rescue in Livingston Parish, just east of Baton Rouge. Liz Coe of the Raycom News Network reports evacuation started just after midnight.
This is what caused the problem. Look at all this water along Interstate 12 in Livingston Parish.
Thank you. Say bye, love you.
Military vehicles arrived just before midnight Saturday.
then we're going to head to Metairie, New Orleans, that way.
They were brought in to rescue hundreds of motorists stuck on the interstate, most since 11 o'clock Saturday morning.
We were talking about getting to our place at 4 o'clock today, and now here we're going to be stuck here for who knows how long.
It's very crazy. We never experienced anything like this. Hopefully we won't have to do it again.
Keep scooting, you're doing great.
People literally slid down the sides of the interstate overpass to get to safety and inside the vehicles that had arrived to finally take them away. Drivers were caught off guard when floodwaters ahead of them on I-12 suddenly covered the interstate Saturday morning. Almost as fast as that happened in front of them, floodwaters also covered the interstate 4 to 6 miles behind them. They were simply trapped. And I was among them, along with my news photographer. We were on our way to an assignment when we, too, became trapped.
What have you been doing for the past, really, 10, 11 hours?
Charging my phone constantly, checking Facebook to make sure other family members are okay. Just stressing.
Many here were from out of state, suddenly finding themselves caught up in South Louisiana's 2016 flood.
It's pretty wild. I mean, you kind of see this stuff on TV, but it's never really happened to me, so...
We'll drop you off at a hotel or some common area that has access where you can call people to come get you.
The relief on the faces of those being rescued was obvious.
There's Mommy. Gotta say
hi,
Mommy. People were thankful. Slowly but surely, their hours trapped on I-12 were over. In Livingston Parish, I'm Liz Coe for the Raycom News Network.
Can you imagine what it was like being stuck on the interstate for that long? Well, Ben Terry has another check of the weather on this Sunday morning coming up at 6:55.
I think I have found my workman's comp lawyer. Mr. Gregory Marceau is a heck of a lawyer. The law firm is great. The people there are great, and I highly recommend them to anybody that needs a workman's comp case taken care of.
Hi, I'm attorney Greg Marceau. If you've been injured on the job and have a workers' compensation claim that you need help with, give me a call.
I was in a car accident in the early 70s, and as I got older, it got worse. I would get up at night and have to try to lay on the floor to try to get relief. I'd known Dr. Sean for quite a while. That's the guy I needed to go see. I started feeling a little relief every time I went. And guess what? It worked. I'm Lois Murphy, and I'm pain-free.
If you have pain, pick up the phone and call now to receive your first visit for only $47. Call 477-2876 to see if we can help you.
Chevrolet is again the #1 domestic brand for quality by J.D. Power. Better than Ford, better than Dodge, better than any domestic brand. Chevy is #1, and your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers are celebrating by saving you money. Save 16% off MSRP on a great selection of new Chevrolets. That's 16% off MSRP on the #1 cars, trucks, and SUVs for quality. And remember, Chevrolet is also the most awarded brand of any car company. See why today at your Lake Charles area Chevy dealers.
Being a former student athlete from McNeese, having played 2 sports for Sulphur High, I know how important the right physical therapy was for me. And since I returned home to operate Southwest Louisiana Sports and Rehab Center in Sulphur, I can now provide young athletes with the sports therapy they need and senior patients with specialized advanced care.
We use Southwest Sports and Rehab.
Go where the pros go. To Rand Prince and the home team at Southwest Louisiana Sports and Rehab Center in Sulphur.
6:57 now, Ben.
All right, last check of our forecast. Of course, obviously, we're going to be monitoring things closely with the radar today. Good news is we don't have any flooding rains over southwest Louisiana, but if we'll take the radar a little bit closer here, noticing these showers that are out over portions of western Calcasieu Parish, that extends up into Beauregard Parish, some lighter rain. What we've got to be watching out closely for those if we see any of these bands of rain redevelop, and it's still a possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but especially over into Jeff Davis Parish. Hopefully, we can hold off. Or right now, we're getting that break in rain over those flooded areas near Jennings and Lake Arthur. So we'll watch things closely. Still under high alert for more rain today, though. In fact, we've got, of course, today being what we could declare a first alert weather day because of that threat for flooding. Additionally, we could see as many as 1 to 3 inches of rain. Now, I think we're going to be more so on the lower end, but those higher amounts will be possible in localized areas. So with that in mind, we'll go with the high threat again today for flooding just because of what we had already over the weekend thus far. Over the next several days, the rain chances will stick with us. I think our flood threat may be a little lower because as we go into Monday and then through the middle of the week, we will have some more scattered thunderstorms around with highs there in the 80s and lows at night into the upper 70s. But the story of the week ahead is going to transition more so from flash flooding, as we are talking now, to river flooding. That's going to be something that we're going to be having to deal with. Yeah, and it's going to be, it looks like, worse than 2013 for Mermentau. So.
All right. You, of course, will be monitoring the situation along with the other storm team members, and we can get updates throughout the day at KPLCTV.com and on the 7 News and Weather app.
That's exactly right.
All right, very good. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of 7 News Sunrise here on this Sunday morning. It was different.
It was. And we'll be back tomorrow, of course, beginning at 4:30.
We'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, I believe Olympics starting next, 7 o'clock, bright and early.
Stay safe and stay in tune to KPLCTV.com. Thanks for joining us.
Get your news on the go. Download the free KPLC News and Weather apps. Search KPLC in your app store today. Sponsored by CNC Home Appliances.